Welcome! In this explainer, we're going to tackle two terms that are absolutely central to any kind of research, but man, are they easy to mix up? Methods and methodology. Let's finally get this cleared up once and for all. So, be honest. Have you ever used these words interchangeably? Maybe in a meeting or when you're writing a paper? Hey, if you have, you are definitely not alone. But here's the thing. This common mix-up isn't just a simple mistake. It can actually lead to some really poorly designed studies and get your research rejected before you even get off the ground. And look, this isn't just me saying this. A recent paper from the Journal of Education and Research points out that this confusion is everywhere. We're talking student papers, sure, but also professionally published, peer-reviewed articles. It's a widespread issue. So here's the deal. This is so much more than just a word game or semantics. This mix-up really points to a fundamental misunderstanding of how solid research is designed in the first place, and that can totally undermine how credible your findings are. Getting this right is foundational. Okay, let's start with the big one, methodology. I want you to think of this as the grand strategy, the master plan. It is the big why behind your entire research project. Think of it like a strategic blueprint for your entire study. It doesn't just list what you're doing, it systematically answers those huge why questions. Why this approach? Why this specific framework? It's really the science behind the science. What I love about this is how it really lays out that methodology is conceptual. It's not just a to-do list. It's the deep logic and the justification that holds your whole project together. It proves you've thought critically about the absolute best way to answer your research question. Right, so if methodology is the grand strategy, well, you need the right tools to actually pull it off. And that, my friends, is where methods come in. And boom, there's the contrast right there. If methodology is that strategic why, then methods are the practical hands-on how. They're the actual things you do to go out and get your data. And this just nails the difference, right? Methods are concrete. They're these specific procedures you're going to perform. The surveys you actually send out, the interviews you sit down and conduct, the observations you record. They're the tactical moves you make to get results. Okay, definitions are one thing, but let's be real, they can go in one ear and out the other. So how do we make this distinction truly unforgettable? Let's use a couple of really simple, powerful analogies that'll make this stick. First up, I want you to think about building a house. Your methodology, that's the architect's complete, detailed blueprint. It explains everything, the structural principles, the design philosophy, the reason behind every single choice. So what are the methods? There's the actual bricks, the mortar, the hammers, and the saws you use to bring that beautiful blueprint to life. Or, hey, let's make it even simpler. Forget houses, let's talk about something we all love, pizza. Your methodology is your motivation for baking it in the first place. Maybe your goal is to create a really healthy, low-calorie vegetarian meal. The methods? Well, those are the specific ingredients, the flour, the tomatoes, the cheese, and the step-by-step recipe you follow to actually make the pizza. See? One is the reason, the other is the recipe. All right, now that we've got those analogies in our back pocket, let's put everything side by side. This should make the distinction totally crystal clear. This table is just a fantastic summary. Just look at those key contrasts. Methods are concrete, they're practical, they're focused on tools. Methodology is abstract, it's theoretical, and it focuses on the overall strategy. And notice the scope. This is huge. Methods are just one part of your overall methodology, which covers the entire research process from beginning to end. So let's get practical. In a real project, how does this all fit together? Where do you even start? It's not a chicken and egg situation. There's a very, very clear starting point. Okay, if you remember one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. Everything, your grand strategy and your specific tools, it all flows directly from the single thing you are trying to answer, your research question. The logical flow here is it's not up for debate. You start with the question. That question then informs your methodology, the why, and only then do you select the specific methods, the how, that logically fit inside your grand plan. You never, ever pick a tool and then try to find a problem for it. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Okay, is this really that big of a deal? Aren't we just splitting hairs here? And the answer is absolutely not. Understanding this and applying it, it's crucial. Having a clear methodology shows you're a critical thinker. It tells your audience that you didn't just pick a survey because it was easy. You chose it for sound, justifiable reasons that line up perfectly with your research goals. It's what makes your entire project defensible, and it determines its overall quality and validity. So here's the bottom line. Methods tell you what a researcher did, but methodology, that tells you how they thought. So the next time you read a research paper, here's my challenge to you. Look past the list of tools and try to find the blueprint, the strategic thinking, the why that's holding up the entire project, because that right there is where the real story is.